Good evening, everyone. This is the very last outing episode party that Tesoro is going to throw before our next season. After tonight's show, we are down until the middle of January, but we will, of course, be causing trouble in person in the interval. Tonight's show is something that I have been waiting for a little while because five of the hottest fire singers on the planet are in the house. This is going to be past incandescent, very, very exciting. And I'll just tell you now, you are going to alternately need healing for your hearts and a little bit of ice for the love poems, I'm sure. And it's just about to be all kinds of fire in here. So hang on, maintain. I'm really just here to run the board tonight. My name is Stacy Dyson. I am the head of Tesoro, which is an international women's poetry network. We have members in Mexico, Canada, Colombia, Australia, South Africa, Portugal, and England. I haven't taken over Asia yet, but we're working on it. Got folks all over the United States. If you want to know more about us, just go to www.firesingers.com. What we are asking for tonight is $5 or more donation, if that's something you can handle. I will put that information into the chat so you know where to send it. If there's any sort of an issue, just hit me on chat and let me know. Ray Jane, babe, I'm going on mute. The party is yours.
Yes, thank you, Stacy. Welcome, everybody. This is indeed a party, a celebration, and I am so excited to be here with you all. As Stacy Dyson shared with you, this is a Tesoro event. Okay, so that means you can expect some powerful women to take over your broadbands or whatever you got, however you connected today. That's ours. Thank you very much. Okay, so if you on the web, if you dialing in, thank you for coming through. But your ears are now ours, and we appreciate you for donating them to us. We cannot guarantee that we will return them the same way we got them. In fact, we can guarantee you that we won't. They might be a little crispy when you get them back, and I hope that you're okay with that, because that is the plan for the evening, is to blaze. Okay, so in the spirit of celebration, right, for my very first book of poetry, Black Like That, Poems from a Conduit, right? And also in the spirit of family, right? So when we do a family thing, we join each other with our voices, right? So the first thing I want us to do, I'm gonna ask everyone to unmute themselves and just make some noise. Get used to making some noise, okay? Because we need to be in here and be quiet. Thank you, Jane. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
Right now. Woo! Yeah. Hey,
Big
Make
up, big
some
up.
noise for our
That's
loved
it.
one.
Yes, yes, mommy.
Right.
Big up. We all here.
All right.
Right? Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. All right. And now, with everybody's mics muted, anytime that I do anything, we start with a breath. Okay. We clear our energy so we can welcome in what we are offering to you. If you're not cool with that, we understand. This is not a dictatorship here, it's an offering, right? So I'm offering you an opportunity to align with us, right? Because we about to get real powerful. We about to take our shoes off. We about to ground, okay? And we want that energy to be transferred to you. And it can't be if we're not in alignment. And the very first way is to breathe the same air, right? Because no matter what you're hearing outside, out there on the TV tube screen, whatever the oppressors would like you to believe, we are indeed one, right? And that starts with the breath. So I'm going to count to 3, and we are going to take a breath in together. The way we do this is you are going to breathe in for a count of 4. That means I'm going to count for you. You ain't got to do nothing but breathe, okay? You're going to breathe in for 4, and then you're going to breathe out for 6. Again, you ain't got to do nothing but breathe. I am going to count for you, all right? So after you hear the number 3, you're going to go in, and we're going to go out. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do that one more time. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Thank you. Now we together and we can get on this train and we gonna ride out together, okay? We gonna ride out with this good energy, with this together energy. And I am so grateful to not have my voice be the only one filling the room tonight. I got 4 powerful Tesoro women who I'm just so proud to know, period, right? So happy that they accepted my invitation to burn the room up with me, right? And I want the responsibility of introducing them because I invited them. So each one we're going to go through, I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. They're going to come on, they're going to spit their thing, they're going to tell you where to find them. If they got a book, you're going to go buy it. And then I am going to dedicate a poem from my book to them that I think embodies the spirit that I love most about them. All right. So I'm gonna spotlight, and if you could spotlight me, that's real quick, that would be awesome. We are going to start our evening with our first fire singer, if you will, right? Our first fire thrower. All right. So you got too much clothes, I'm gonna take it off because it's gonna get hot. Okay. First person up, right, is the poet Rose Gold, an activist and host, a poet, a writer, hails from the real Gotham City, a Bronx, New York native who discovered poetry at 15 and began using it as a more creative way of communicating with the world. Coupled with her 20-year career as an Army photojournalist, poet Rose Gold knew how to capture the human condition in real time through her lens and record its consciousness with her pen. She jokingly refers to her work as incendiary red bone poetry, highlighting the injustices tarnishing the American landscape, spirituality, intimacy, self-love, Black love, mental health, and past life in the military. Poet Rose Gold's voice has crossed time zones, virtually and in person, through podcasts and numerous community engagements, including an appearance on the Red Dot stage at TEDx Colorado Springs in 2019. Poet Rose Gold is also a member of Tesoro, a newly formed organization whose purpose is to hold safe space internationally for women, ward warriors, to do their work. The poet Rose Gold's own work has been featured in several anthologies, Between a Laugh and a Tear, Love Letters to Gaia, the Cuddy Family Foundation for Veterans Poetry Journal Volume 1, and the Cuddy Family Foundation for Veterans Poetry Journal Volume 2. Lord, that's a lot, girl, but it's good. Rising Voices, Poems Toward a Social Justice Revolution, These Fought in Any Case, a collection of poems and short stories by veterans, I Can't Breathe Volume 2, and of course, her debut poetry book, Poetry is a Love Language. But first, let me tell you something. It's slated for a 2024 reveal. Please open your mics and your hearts and welcome our first poet up, the poet Rose Gold.
Jennifer, yes.
Woo!
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Get it,
yes.
girl.
Fire
We
on
love
fire.
you.
Get it.
We love you.
I love you too. You have the right to spit fire. Anything you say can and will be used to burn blasphemies to the ground. You have the right to live a life free of generational curses. If you cannot afford these yokes and burdens, feel free to leave them at the foot of the microphone. Good evening, fellow poets and fire singers and family. How you doing, family?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the burn. Congratulations, Sister Ray Jane. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You are glowing. You deserve all the things, all the things. And it is an honor to support you here tonight. Reporting live from the couches of our nation's living rooms is Citizen Noble, social media's most trusted source of hard news, pulled directly from the deposits of the $3,000 Golden Throne, recently expelled along with the most repugnant ringmaster in the biggest circus in the land. Dreaded this from the moment the clock struck 2021, because for the past 4 years, Citizen Noble was granted permission to express its inhumanity and try and quell the uprising that has long been known as the Browning of America. Cheeks not clenched this tightly since 2009, fear that the success of the oppressed somehow signaled democracy's demise. I can still hear the great wailing and gnashing of teeth, only paused in between conspiracy theories, warning of lawlessness and anarchy in the streets, that our republic will be overrun by drugs, thugs, kingpins, and welfare queens. Sound familiar? So hide your kids, hide your wives, lock your windows and bar your doors, but fear not. Citizen Noble aims to take this country back, employing every letter of the law, K, K, K. Because Citizen Noble no longer rules, and the rule is Citizen Noble must never part from its power, its birthright, taken by might through the perilous fight. Fear caused it to take flight to the keyboards, voraciously expressing disgust of being lorded over by the ungodly. Citizen Noble takes a knee, praying to its blind, blue-eyed imposter to resurrect itself and store order and deliver it from its plight. The audacity of dope. Citizen Noble goes viral as it spirals into the abyss of its own undoing in plain view of global spectators recording this historic meltdown, for even it has crossed the dotted thin blue line. Use the red, white, and blue as bayonets fixed and at the ready, brandishing Louisville sluggers because Citizen Noble's other favorite American pastime is mob rule. Citizen Noble doesn't recognize insurrection as a domestic violence situation, when those conducting the home invasion were handed the keys. Just a little spat, a squabble played out in front of a live audience because on November 3rd, Citizen Noble was dealt the short end of the stick in the divorce settlement. So like everything else in the world, it took what it wanted from the reluctant in-laws, vandalized what it didn't, and as a final calling card, autographed its treason in excrement. Triggered by this blight on liberty's sensibilities, Citizen Noble laments that this is not quite how this takedown was supposed to go down. Indecipherable mutterings, unwittingly blathering felonious confessions, captured on smartphones and headlined on TVs and tablets, all that fluff, huff, and puff renders Citizen Noble unstable. A fact the world already knew. But if it just took a puff of this Colorado stuff, perhaps his constituents wouldn't be so uptight. Perhaps it wouldn't disintegrate like the Wicked Witch of the West when drenched in the tidal waves of its own bitter truths. That Citizen Noble's etymology is forged in barbarism, so humankind, therefore, had to learn the hard way to stop casting its pearls before swine. And oh, shoot. This is called muzzle awareness, because you know how America loves its guns. It wasn't a chance encounter. It was destined that we cross paths, though I guess it could be considered a blind date, seeing that your reputation preceded you. You and I first laid eyes on each other on a humid, red ant occupied hole somewhere in the middle of Columbia, South Carolina. Well, not the greatest of accommodations, those austere conditions made for the most convincing of Teflon bonds. It was a must that I be prepared beforehand, because not everybody could rock with the likes of you. You were so special that you needed to be kept under lock and key. Immediately, I committed your digits to memory, and in fact had it on speed dial when requested. Only allowed to keep company with you during authorized visits and under skilled supervision. I had to just special for you during our outings, heavily garmented for protection in case someone didn't follow the rules. Our time spent together was, at times, brief. We shared time and space with others who possess precious commodities so comparable to your likeness, but you were better because you were mine. You were a sight to behold. Such striking dimensions, 5.56 millimeter, gas operated, magazine fed, shoulder fired. You and your constituents screamed like a collective calculated drumbeat, furiously sending your omens downrange, flying brass clattering in unison, and the rising smoke gestured in acknowledgement, carrying with it the impenetrable scent of discipline. From the first time we embraced, I just knew you would hold me down in times of jeopardy. Likewise, you trusted that I was of sound mind and would only unload as an absolute last resort. No one messed with me in your presence, because no matter what country we were in, whether friendly or hostile, everyone spoke your language. Whenever deployed, you became my work husband, like Celie and Nettie in The Color Purple. You and I must never part. They shut down entire installations when one of your buddies got lost until it was restored to its proper and reckless owners. But I'd never do that to you. The disrespect. I don't understand why anyone wouldn't want you. Your presence exudes an intoxicating power. I was addicted each time I heard you speak. In the years we'd grown, you've become part of my vibration. But since I left you, I had to learn to live with no brass, no ammo. I bragged to Mom, Pa Kettle, and the rest of the neighborhood about how now I learned how to kill, legally and on paper, reduce flesh to vapor. Ain't that America? And
Wow, that was heavy. That was so good, Rose Gold.
Superb. Yeah, superb.
Light it up, girl. Go,
Ain't
go,
that
go.
America?
this one gonna make you mad, which is what I do.
Fire with that piece.
Hey, Mr. Witz, how you doing?
Awesome. I'm glad to be here amongst y'all. I'm all ears tonight. Kill it, lady. Kill it.
How to be reminded you're a woman in 30 lines or less. 1, smile. It can't be that bad. 2, how come you're not married? What's wrong with you? 3, he likes you, therefore believes you're obligated to like him back. 4, well, you don't, so suddenly you got an attitude. 5, your confidence and assertiveness are mislabeled as aggressive or rude, whereas if you had a dangling participle, you'd be regarded as, wait, what's this? Confident and assertive. 6, you arrive at a new duty station and immediately feel like someone sounded the fresh meat new booty alarm. 7, you ain't got no man, so you must be gay. 8, your name is. 9, calm down. 10, males can make songs all day about bees and hoes and videos featuring scantily clad females around them while sliding credit cards down their crack. But someone does a song about their own bodily autonomy and praising the power of their own pussy. They're the devil incarnate. 11, a Starbucks barista sees your blue ID card and assumes your husband is the service member, not you. 12, when 2 old white men, for some reason, irrationally impressed that you can combat park, i.e. back into a parking space. I can parallel park too. 13, you couldn't possibly be a veteran. 14, you're too pretty to be in the army. 15, you shouldn't dress like that, you'll distract the men. 16, well, what was she wearing? 17, and how much did she have to drink? 18, society measures your value based on whose arm you're hanging off of and how many children you bore him, or not. 19, you shouldn't walk like that. You'll entice the men. 20, you're told in not so many words that you're better seen and not heard. 21, someone said respectability equals silence. Me, grabs microphone. 22, women should not be pastors. 23, why, he couldn't have done that to you. He's a model citizen. 24, laws are being made as we speak to destroy any and all control you have over your own body. 25, your intelligence is being viewed as uppity. 26, your abilities, competence, and aforementioned intelligence are always called into question. 27, you were told by a peer in another unit that they would not take orders from a woman should one be put in charge of him. 28, objectification, catcalling, harassment, assault are the order of the day and should be accepted as a rite of passage / way of life. 29, another moron slides into your DMs, block. 30, you can't fill in the blank. You're a woman. End.
Ooh, with that hand.
Yeah. Wow.
Put some water on that thing. Pour some
I'm
water
sorry, I
on.
don't wanna-
You know
I
what
don't
I'm
want to take
saying?
away
That's
from
to
the
the
other
people
folks'
are.
time. Your time. How much time do I have left? I don't want to take away from anybody else's time.
Give us another one at least.
Okay.
Encore. On.
Okay. Okay, I'll close out with this one. This is my prayer for Black America. Please, God, hear my cry. God, I ask you, remove all things not like you, like the morning thoughts that jolt me awake, alive in a dark republic, reminding me that my body has no value and there are those who will try and prevent me from taking agency of it. All before my eyes, just to the dawn's early light. That we don't have to endure the media's never-ending carelessness in naming the trial after the victim rather than the perp. After months, perhaps years of pre-framing public opinion through recurrent character assassination. Father, I pray that not another body be slain before the tears have even dried from the last fallen, and just after a verdict has been rendered, but not before yet another body meets the earth. In the name of all things holy, Lord, stop them from taking these Black sons and daughters from their mothers, leaving their children without fathers and spouses without their betrothed. Parents are not supposed to bury their children. It is out of order. Cover us in the blood of Jesus so ours will not blast out of our flesh, christening the concrete with our DNA, because modern cowboys mimicking pickup patrols of old feared for their lives. You said fear and faith cannot coexist, oh God, but you never warned me that they would, at the very least, still bump heads. If I clasp my hands tighter till the palms and knuckles ache, will that make you hear me better? Dear Father, you said the last shall be first, but we still find ourselves at the end of the line. And by the time we get within reach, they flip the closed sign on our dignity, our bodies, our rights. If we are made in your image, then they must hate you too. Reteach me, oh God, to fight the battles on our knees so we don't become casualties in this posture. As our prayers go up, rain blessings down, and may the torrents be the shield against the predatory hail of bullets given no names, but still manage to find their unwitting targets. Create in us, oh God, the courage to create the world you meant for us, within a land that's foreign to your voice, yet incites domestic terror in your name. Dispatch your angels of protection over the first people, that we may live long enough to welcome shouts of joy versus screaming hymnals of mourning after morning after morning. We ask all of these things in Jesus' name. Amen. I am the poet Rose Gold. Continue.
All right, amen.
Yeah.
Poet Rose Gold. Wow.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Powerful stuff. That was incredible.
Oh,
Great shot.
Yes, please
And you,
unmute yourselves and give the poet Rose Gold the love that
Yeah,
she deserves for starting us off like that.
yeah.
yo,
Big up, big up, big up.
Rose, can
Awesome.
you please feature for Open Minds next year? I would feel so excited and blessed if you could do a feature for Open Minds like in February next year. I'll holler at you.
Yeah, I don't want to take this ain't my show. So yeah, holla at me.
Yeah,
Just DM me. We'll
I
talk.
want more. I need more. I need more Rose Gold.
That
Rose
was
Gold,
dope, Rose Gold.
I
That's what's
really get to see you, and I'm so honored to hear you tonight. You blessed us all right now. I appreciate everything for real.
Word.
absolutely.
Rose Gold, I want to say your lipstick is like the backdrop for your voice. You are definitely killing it. Every bar was just amazing, and I just wish I could have typed it out quick enough to put them lines in there. You spit that fire, love.
Hey, that was probably one of the realest compliments I've ever. He said, "Your lipstick is like that." It's like, wow. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. I thank y'all so much for being here. Listen, the poet Rose Gold, she already know how I feel about her. I was just so excited that she said yes when I asked. All the way back, we've been doing this now since 2020, and 2020 has taken quite a bit from many of us, but it's also gifted us so much, and certainly in the way of community and connections. And the fact of the matter is, you don't got to do nothing, right? So the things that people choose to do for you, we acknowledge, we take time to honor. So, Poet Rose Gold, I take a moment to honor you. This poem reminds me of you, and it's entitled, Ain't I a Woman? Ain't I a woman? Though presumed voiceless, I keep a fifth of Jack and a little ditty on my tongue. Been marinating for years in the salted brine of expectation. I resound clear and unpickled, but please believe this pen pisses vinegar, not easily ingested. Songs older than slave ships demand, my volume remains at least a howl in the wind. In the night, unladylike, laced fingers about knickers, hiking my hems at any peon's pejorative pleasings for my silence. My voice and the voices of women like me were not heard. So I become a wolf at twilight, charge the night with my many throats, open, vicious, vocal, and alive. Thank you, Poet Rose Gold, for starting us off properly with that real, with that fire. We appreciate you. All right. All right, we're gonna keep it moving, keep it pushing. All right. I just ask that everybody mute themselves so we can be respectful of all the voices in here. It's not easy to raise your voice in general, certainly difficult to raise it above. So we appreciate you for being with us. We're gonna keep it rolling. I told you I have a stew full of fire. Okay? All you're gonna do is dip that spoon in it, baby. You're gonna come up with nourishment. Ain't no choice. And the next poet is nothing different, right? So we started off blazing, and we gonna keep on blazing, right? So if you have you know, you're a little afraid this evening, maybe a little worried about the word choice, the language that might be used. This is a great time to, take a break, if that's not, what you're into, because we're going to get in that ass tonight. Okay. We're going to talk about what's real, right? Because why not? Right. And we thank you for the gift of your attention. The next poet keeps it real all day. Why? Because her name is Jane. I mean, that's how we get down, okay? Jane, spoken word, activist, multidisciplinary performer, spoken word artist, guest speaker, published author, workshop facilitator, and host of the online series Word Jamming. Y'all make sure y'all check that out, okay? A poet of the streets, she brings her artistry to a diverse set of venues, from museums, festivals, and clubs to bustling street corners and living rooms everywhere. Her words speak to humanity, spirituality, soulfulness, Ancestors, the yin of crying out against injustice and cruelty, and the yang of assimilating stardust, moonbeams, nature's beauty, and the wisdom of the ancestors. In this time of upheaval, hatred, bigotry, oppression, and extremism by politicians and organized religions, we cannot be silent. We must make our voices heard. End quote. That's Jane's spoken word. And she also blessed me with a review on the back of this book. So you check it out. But in the meantime, y'all open your mics and your hearts and give Jane spoken word the invitation that a powerful woman deserves.
Jane,
Let's go.
Jane's
Bring
spoken
it.
word.
Jane.
go in,
Go.
poet.
All right, yeah.
Let's
That's my
add. Let's
friend.
go.
Yay,
Come on with
yay.
it.
All right, all right, all right, all right.
Boo, Auntie Jane.
Hush, Chance. We could just get Jane out. Up to Jane freeze? Lord, we done got her so excited she froze. That's all right. It's all good. Jane, are you unfroze? Jane, I think you frozen, boo. You might have to go out and come back. The devil is a liar. I know that's right, Rose Gold. We gonna keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Because Jane gonna be right back. And you just got a whole nother Jane to keep you company until the other Jane comes back. That's all right. Okay. Because
Yeah, we
Jane,
got the Ray Jane. I'll hold you over
yeah,
to Jane.
that's it. You know, there goes
Yeah,
Jane. Hey,
I
Jane.
love you, man. I love
You good,
you.
girl? Look, the devil is gonna show up. We here to do good work. So you
Yeah,
can
word.
expect it, right?
All
I
right.
hear that voice. Go ahead, do your thing, Jane.
All right. First piece called Reparations. Talking to shadows. Standing for truth. Black Lives Matter. Have you ever seen white people hanging from poplar trees? Have you ever seen white people hosed down by police? Have you ever seen white people set upon by police dogs? Have you ever seen white people burned, beaten, and butchered for whistling at a black girl? Have you ever seen white people smothered to death for selling a cigarette on the street? Have you ever seen white people riddled with bullets for brandishing a phone? Have you ever seen white people die in jail for a traffic violation? Have you ever seen white people gunned down in the park for playing with a toy gun? Have you ever seen white people forced to sit at the back of the bus? Have you ever seen white people shot in the back while hopping a fence? Have you ever seen white people murdered while walking down the street with a bag of Skittles? Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen? I'm talking to you, white people. What is wrong with you? Where is your outrage? Where is your humanity? Where is your sense of justice, your religiosity? Because you know your God gonna judge you on that do unto others shit. So if you do nothing to right these wrongs, you should be ashamed. Ashamed. Yes, ashamed. Talking to shadows. Standing for truth. Black lives matter. They matter to me.
Woo. All right, all right, all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
Yeah, Jane.
good. Yes.
That's right.
A lot of these pieces are from my book, Word Against the Machine, which you can get from my website anytime. So these are all Word Against the Machine because I see injustice and I can't handle it. The heartbreak is so heavy, I have to put it out in words. This piece, bang, bang. Bang, bang. A bullet shot somebody down. Shot somebody down. Can you hear the mamas moan? In floods of tears they drown. A bullet shot her baby down. Her baby down. Bang, bang. A bullet shot somebody down. Your brother, your uncle, your grandpa, your son, your father, your auntie, your grandma, your mom, your sister, your daughter, your only one. Bang, bang, a bullet shot your loved one down. Your loved one down. So can somebody out there please school me? Tell me how the fuck that this can be. Because I simply cannot see the why. And so I ask myself, where is this hatred coming from? Why so many people want to have a gun? Bang, bang, a bullet shot somebody down. Somebody down. It's usually someone brown, bang, bang. That dreadful sound, bang, bang. It's societal meltdown. Peace.
Okay, all right, all right, all right, all right.
Powerful.
Awesome.
Get it, Jane.
Awesome. Awesome.
Very good.
Yeah, Jane, that was great. Fire on the mic.
Thank you.
Mm.
This is one of my favorite pieces. It really spans my history of writing poetry, which is way back when. It's called Winter Has Come to America. I turned on, tuned in, and dropped out in the 60s. You call me a freak, but don't you call me a hippie. I spent the summer of love smoking dope and dropping acid. And I protested a war that lasted and lasted and lasted. Released from the confines of society, sisters and brothers stood collectively for equality and dignity. Because you know we know. We demanded an end to war. Hell no, we won't go. We demanded civil rights and equality. We marched for all humanity. And the music of my time spoke truth to power. Grooving a slide, the family took us higher. RESPECT demanded Miss Aretha, Queen of Soul, while Eve of Destruction sang dark truths untold. And while Dylan warned, we're just a pawn in their game. By any means necessary, Malcolm X did proclaim. I'm black and I'm proud, testified James Brown, as Jimmy lamented, why'd you burn your brother's house down? And as Marvin sang, mercy me, when will it end? John Lennon pleaded, give peace a chance. And then float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, rhyme the greatest of all time, my hero, Muhammad Ali. We were a social movement, youth on the rise, in a war for equality and respect for all lives. The women's movement defined our objectives. Feminist ideologies demanded equality of sexes. The Latino movement of United Farm Workers improved farmers' pay and working conditions. The Chicago movement organized students. Education, not eradication, brought basic school improvements. The Black arts movement used art as a weapon. The Black Power movement championed pride and freedom. Angela Davis, Eartha Catwoman Kit, Nichelle Uhura Nichols, Tommy Smith, and John Carlos, and Nina Simone, and still, idiocracy reigns. If you are other in America, do you do time every day? If you are other in America, is it always a squeeze play? Living your life on an everyday beat, always on guard, avoiding white heat? Winter has come to America. We have been trumped. Whitey is blindly stumbling through life, feasting on Fox, feeding his white. He's scared. He's scared you'll take his guns, his God, his whiteness. So he hides his fright in distorted righteousness. Marching with tikis is a frightening aberration. Rivers of blood stain our dawn with damnation. What happens to one happens to us all. Like dominoes, we all will fall. Silence is death. Peace.
All right, all right, all right, all right.
Talk
Phew.
that shit. Talk it,
Let's
Jane.
go.
Talk it.
All right. And then this one I wrote because I was at a poetry reading, and dude in front of me was sitting there, didn't know I heard him, and he was like, yo, who's this old white lady back here? This poem comes from there. What's she gonna do? What is she gonna do? I'll tell you what the fuck I'm gonna do. I'm tired of this age's bullshit. Cause you don't know what box I fit, you little shit. Looking all sideways at me, wondering who the fuck this experienced white lady be. Cracking on my not your race. Well, let me tell you, you ain't never seen my Pepe's face. All dark and leathered, his history erased. War painted and standing brave. From this world all the way to his grave. I am on a vision quest to honor my ancestral war chest. Celebrating all my relations with sacred incantations. I am a poet, not a blow-up doll, not a picture in your pocket. I am the examiner, not a stone on your finger, not a dollar in your wallet. I am the rhymer, and I am here to spit. So you little shit, you don't know what box I fit, so give me the mic, I might spit fire. Give me the mic, I might flow bars. Give me that mic, I'll shine a light, and give me that mic, cause I'll take you higher. I'm all about looking for the place that's it, where my complexion ain't the connection to who you think I am. I'm just a ream of paper and a burning hot fucking pen. Yo. Oh gosh.
All right, all right, all right, all
Hell
right.
yeah, it's hot like fire, Jane. Woo! I told you, only half a sleeve, because I knew y'all was gonna be too hot. I needed some air. I don't
Yeah.
mind.
I'm
I'm
just a
sorry,
ream of
Mama Ray
paper
Jane.
and a motherfucking burning pen.
Yes.
Jane,
Oh,
you better blow that shit out.
It's all good. Speak it, speak it.
Oh,
Damn. We spoke too soon, Jane. I think you'd have burnt it up. You cutting up, mama. Oh no. Can you hear us, Jane?
Frozen in time.
That's all right. That's all right. That's what happened when you melt the mic. You know what I'm saying? All the little wires get melted. So Jane done popped out. That's all right. We're gonna let her jump back on. I think she just got back
I don't
in.
know why they keep bumping me. They ain't
It's
like
all right. They haters. They haters. They're like, oh, she's too hot. Cool her down. You know what
all
I
right. Well, we will cool you down for the last poem of the evening.
Do your thing, baby.
This is called Flux, and I wrote it after I did a journey. For my teacher, who resides on the moon, busy contemplating contemplations that shape the reality of a dimensional self. Somebody want to mute? Thank you.
Mute yourselves. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
iPhone, if you don't mind muting yourself as well. Thank you so much. I know we be getting excited, Jane. It's
Thank
not our
you.
fault. It's you. Go ahead, girl.
All right. For my teacher, who resides on a moon, busy contemplating contemplations that shape the reality of a dimensional self. Reminders of illusionary tactics of the mind to leave you behind. Dull your shine. Spirit beings summoned by dreams, dancing to songs of celestial bodies, listening to winds, whispering silent secrets. Naked minds with no dressing, and the dreamer's moon laughs at my back. Ruby sparkled sky laid out on a velvet sea, summon the moon and sweet talk the sun, dreaming of yesterdays and Saturn rings and diamond snow and strings, spinning theories of planks that travel on a shimmer of not too long ago memories. Triangle suns born of stories told, holes in time and pharaohs lost to days of old. I kissed the sky with rainbows gold. In the book of pages, passed down from the library of ages, eons of particles appear and disappear, expanding into the nothingness of a consciousness long forgotten. When the night falls down upon us, the beginning of the end of the beginning of the end of the beginning, when the night falls down upon us, we are all allies in the silent struggle.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
All right, all right, all right, all right.
Yes.
Please
Thank you
open
so
your
much
mics.
for your kind
Allies,
attention.
allies,
Thank
silent
you,
struggle.
Jane. Please open your mics and give Jane the love she deserves for her allies.
Jane, all
Jane,
right. You said it. You said it.
She's not an ally, she's a
Yay.
freaking accomplice.
That's
An
it.
accomplice.
Yeah,
Accomplice,
that
right?
part. I love it.
Wrong A
Go,
word. My
Jane.
bad.
Fucking amazing.
Thank you all. Thank you
Thank
all.
you,
Ray
Jane.
Jane, thank you so much for inviting me. I am so honored to be a part of this and a part of you reading your book. I couldn't be happier. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Jane,
Jane.
you one of them conductors, girl. You one of
That's
them
it.
conductors.
See, that's what my mama said. You heard that? That's what my mama said. Now, I ain't gonna say she's wrong because she not. She ain't never wrong. So she is right. You are a conductor, right? And every time we open our mouths, we are aiming to go somewhere and take people somewhere.
Mhm.
So it's huge that you get to choose who's taking you where. And anytime you start blowing that horn, Jane, I'm on the train, girl. You ain't even got to look around. I'm with you. I thank you so much for being with me and inspiring me. And when I think about you and your refusal, right, to let what's wrong go silent, I can't dedicate any other poem in this book but the most epic one. The most get in your face. This is what it is. We gonna go. And it's entitled Pump Action. Now y'all hold on to something because we gonna go.
Mhm.
It grates at me, the hate for me, ripping at my seams every time I see me, pulled apart for all to see, still killing me. I can't be the only one feeling fatigued. Breath of life escaping me. Where are the G's? The ones who cock glocks for the whole hood to see. Why ain't y'all fools avenging we? Why ain't we in these streets straight murking while gentrifiers think it's safe to keep lurking, rounding up our parts about to get these hands, or at least these ramparts? Are we smart? Unclear. Seeing as we remain under thumb, made us believe we not whine. We just squash scrapes of a people. We weep under steeples and keep the burner at bay like the way they dragging these bodies is for play. WWYD. Waiting to hear what Yeshua has to say. Cause my version ain't eyes are blue and bullshit excuses to keep me in line. My Yeshua is rage, condemnation, feels a way that they don't even know his name. Leviticus and Deuteronomy too, cause minds could also get slain in the streets. Must be cause my Yeshua is actually bronze and woolly. No wonder we steady getting crucified. This ire lives outside time, cause I am not okay. Placing peace and its Bible back to lay next to my dreams again. A time for prayer has gone away. Time to mount up. We done did that. Pray shit. That march shit. That turn the other piece shit. That doing it your way shit. Still consoling our mothers while America drags its feet shit. Ain't nobody coming to save we shit. Got white friends that rather be entertained by me than tout their bravery. Exercise that privilege for me. Put some hands on Becky, especially if I'm barbecuing, holding my Skittles, or just running on your street. Keep your kin from calling the Klan on me. What kind of ally moves like frenemy? How could they sit by perpetually watching the end of me? Truth is, if you ain't riding for me, then you, the enemy. So get to work. Align with me. Take up arms, combine with me. But no, you rather stay tongue-in-cheek than black lips like mag. Shoot the silence up with me. I'm mad. I'm fucking livid. I'm beyond angry. So how you so restrained? It was all merry when you could ignore my humanity again. Oh yeah? You got black friends? You about to see just how that kind of black a friend can be when the ancestors who've been drumming their feet get to leaping, jumping up out of me. Better move. We got that wicked speed. Ask Carlos, John, and Smith, Tommy, raising fists like Toby right before amputation. Tell Gabriel to hold the horns. This revelation far from heavenly in a nation hell bent on bending me, no lose. Don't shoot. The ones with me, y'all so silly. Thinking ye not finna collect this loot. We kicking in the door, waving the 4-4 at 4-5. COVID agent orange, coughing, filling coffins. We wondering how we still alive. We warriors necromancing, we about to rise. It's about to get live. The power from which we derive is about to arrive. Cause we just sent for the nukes. While we the spooks creep up in that back door, also known as ours. They want war. Kings and queens begin to contemplate things. A problem when we start whispering, start turning off camera phones and get to sharing messages with his feet again. Stomping in our gumboots, you won't know who's who soon. Waiting for our smoke to rise, signal to reject compromise. In trance, I reminisce on visits to Deep South, to Deep Georgia, red dirt clay in my mouth, my peach trees branching into fists. Mad Hanberry with my gifts, spirit of great granny demanding returning of all parts of my fifths, breaking open jail cells, recollecting my begotten. Won't let you let them go rotten. We plotting, planning on disrobing from these tainted American garments. As Deaf Poet preached, the fabric of our lives, still soaked in bloody fields of cotton, about to get muddy, buddy, cause mama's people in here too, spirit of wild-ass maroons. Jamaica has entered the room, Rastafari with tech nines and spliffs, Mad Marley riffs, talking loud and saying enough black pride, no permit, refusing to be police, pulling up with machete, who's trying to get fleece, patois erupting from me as I enunciate our saga. Them boys, them aga. But we a quick study. Rise up till them shook, man. Remember the art of war, pages we took from book, man. Trying to get free like early Haiti, Jean-Jacques and Toussaint. God's return to haunt us, taunt us to action, reminding us of back when we were stronger, when we were better. Gotta get our moves together, practice our capoeira, breaking the chains, bounding our brains we unfetter. Change requires kicking down the towers of the occupiers. Time to get all the liars. Don't want to hear it. How the jury split. Ain't nobody doing time, so it's time to reclaim our dimensions. And when it's time to act up, make sure you get the frequencies you attract up. I want to see all y'all despise and chastise the unauthorized and colonized. Get energized past your contrivance, trying to colonize the uncivilized. Don't say shit or look for it. It won't be televised. Get these war cries harmonized. Don't be so mesmerized, but why they prize. When your existence is already so minimized, why are you even afraid to die? Stop stunting. Don't ask me nothing. When you see me running, just get your shit together and decide, are you coming? That's for you, Jane.
Run that.
That was really good.
Yes.
Excellent.
Oh
All
my
right.
God,
That
please.
was
That's amazing.
All right, all right.
Oh my
Yes.
God, Ray Jane.
So great, Ray
Yeah,
J.
Really
Ray
nice.
J.
Great job.
Maroons in the house.
Yeah, man. I know
Yeah.
you're
And
that. I know you're that, so mommy.
Jen, I hope to one day inspire you to
Run
write a
that, run
poem
that.
about me. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Coming.
that was fire. That was fire.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving my beloved Jane Spoken Word the love that she deserves. Y'all make sure y'all hit up janespokenword.com, buy her book. And also, if you see any, of us hyping up Word Jam, and make sure you show up because it's really a unique show. And we want to lift here, right? So we're not selfish, we share. All right. And speaking of being unselfish and sharing, right? We also have to be mindful of the community that we're building, having younger voices than ones that are here, right? Keeping the door open, right? For people who are just flexing their voice. They just finding it. They stepping into their power for the first time. They don't even know what that looked like. Some of them do. Some of them come in already aware, right? And we get the privilege of watching them stretch into what is obvious already. And the next poet, right, is exactly that, powerful and stretching into her power. And it's such a joy to watch her do a thing, to see her grow, to see her show us all that success can look a lot different than what we've been shown, right? And we don't even know what success could look like all the way yet, right? Because some of these young folk ain't finished showing us yet. Bianca is one of those young folk. Bianca is an artist who resides in the Bay Area. As an Antioch native with a mixed ethnic background, she uses various forms of art through music, writing poetry, and spoken word as a platform to mention topics she feels should be a part of everyday conversation. To follow and learn more about Bianca, visit her Instagram page at BEE.YONKAAA, Bianca, where she provides live updates on her writing projects. She currently has a Patreon. Okay, get money. That's what we talking about. Make it a true profession, right? Let them pay you for your work because you deserve that. Entitled The Dope Poet Society, which just makes sense, that you can subscribe to and you can heal to. Please open your mics and your hearts and your ears for this dope poet herself, this fire, young, stretching goddess. Open your mics and invite her to this space the way she deserves. Bianca,
Bring it, Lady B. Bring it,
You,
Lady
Let's
B.
go,
you,
Queen. Let's
Yep.
go.
All
I
right,
can't
Bianca,
wait.
let's
Bianca,
Bianca.
Bianca.
we love you.
Happy girl.
Yeah, Carter, we love you.
Get it.
Thank you. Thank you, Ray Jane, for choosing me. It's just amazing to even get that. So thank you. And thank you to everyone that I'm sharing this space with. I quit after the last one. That one, Ray, you can't just spit fire like that. I can't follow that, but I'll try. Okay.
Yes, you can. Hold up. Hold up.
Word.
Yes, you can. And I chose you because you can. So everywhere else you could do that small stuff. We're not playing small here. Okay? So open up your chest, put your feet on the ground, lift them, put them shoulders down, lift your head, because you are already loved and honored here. Don't be small, be big. That's what you were invited here to do. Set it off. Go crazy. All right?
I got you.
All right.
All right, guys. This is called I Come From. I come from where seed meets soil and water greets them after. I come from ancient rooted desires that forces its way into me like a symbiotic bond only my mother could love. I come from a lack of compassion disguised as tough love. I come from approval-based reinforcement. So now I ask for none. I come from ancestral lines that showed warriors were silenced by colonizers by taking our women and using their seeds to fertilize our native soil just to kill the plant that rooted after thriving in such harsh conditions. The smell of foreign that reeked on my skin as I tried to bleach the fabric that held my organs together by threads that were sewn on by people who believed we took everything from them when they only fed us crumbs from their leftover lies they served on silver betrayals. I come from generational insecurities that have morphed into false realities because the past couldn't be vivid enough to capture through my own lens. So invalidity haunts me more than certainty does. I come from grit, where sandpaper meets the smooth canvas, rubbing constantly to polish something already pristine. It's reassurance, it's affirmation, it's relentless glory. It's the repetitive nature that whatever dulls my figure awakens my mind, for nothing is ever pointless. Because of where I come from, I have purpose, power, and persistence. I seem to have this intuition that bloodlines are just our ancestors' way of circumnavigating your reality, so you inevitably recreate the world they think they needed instead of creating a world that is necessary. I've never been good at directions, so where I come from isn't where I'm going. The reason why I know my future is because I know my history. And as my pen hits my paper once more, revealing the ink, my voice sings with intentions of the indigenous. I become an instrument, a heart beating to the rhythm of my words so loud my ancestors hear me calling them, asking for thunder to come down as if it's necessary to hear a warning drum every time our society fails me. And as I walk past versions of my cadavers in alleyways I considered as safe havens, I've made it to where I need to be. Somewhere. Thank you.
All right,
Yes.
all right.
Wow.
Sorry, what was the problem? Because
After again.
All right, all right, all right.
Bianca.
stop it.
Come on with it.
Somebody you can't follow that. Yo,
Thank you. This next poem is entitled I'm Tired. And it was inspired by the babies that were tragically sacrificed in Uvalde, Texas. So this one goes out to all those babies and their families who are still healing from that. Sending love to your nervous system. It breaks my heart that we must reap what the government sows. Children and teens in the US are 15 times more likely to die from gunfire than their peers in 31 other high-income countries combined. The US also has nearly 25 times the firearm murder rate. To think that our children will most likely die from a gunshot wound than any other health ailment is alarming. But the government will choose to sleep on social issues while they lay their head on a bed full of heavy hearts. And as a saying goes, power to the people, yet the people in power leads to hopeful policies that creates hopeless results, inspired by the numbness of continuous thoughts and prayers, because resilience becomes silence. I always question why our leaders can go to war when they cannot lead to fix problems happening in their own yard. Having security in at-risk schools seem like a good idea until you realize it's only to notion that the statistics of at-risk student body already makes them criminals. So at the end of the day, they aren't being protected, they're being punished. And the government wonders why we view security as a prison sentence rather than an act of civilian safety. The worst thing this world has ever encountered is a human hunger for power. We're not only being forced to be complacent about carnage, but also live in a world that is already dying. The endless cycle of hearing about tragedy, relentless media attention, offering thoughts and prayers, debating whether or not guns should be prohibited, resulting in no action, going back to normal while we wait for the next disturbance in our communities is exhausting. We shouldn't live in simultaneous fear and numbness because our societal norm is arguing about what's justified while people's lives are being sacrificed like our lives are only meant to be glamorized through death. I'm tired of hearing another member of our communities become an ancestor. I'm tired of sending my thoughts and prayers. We need policies and change. I'm tired of hearing people's stories through their eulogies and post-mortem conversations. I'm tired of talking about others in past tense. I'm tired of having murder accomplices assigned to protect brown and Black communities they have no interest in protecting. I'm tired of hearing desensitized debates on what laws we should have based on numbers and not bloodshed. I'm tired of the freedom I have because I carried it around like a burden from the third person testimonies that pierces my skin, like the bullets from the AR-15s that killed our children while officers were standing there waiting for the execution to be over before they even took action. There was no freedom in a war-torn world. There was only survival. And hoping the difference you make is the one that stays and doesn't fade like another news line waiting for another audience to sympathize over. Remorse needs revolution, revelation, and retribution, not a reverie. Thank you.
B, you have such a calming way to be explosive with your voice. It's like you real relaxed, but you breathe in so much furious flames from you right now. It's just crazy. I'm watching you work. Keep doing what you do.
Say that or
Yeah, Bianca, fantastic work.
Thank you.
Yeah, what Mr. Witt said.
Told y'all. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Bianca. Go ahead.
This next one is entitled Risen. And it's about all the dark things that we don't talk about, right? And trying to rise above them, even though it's so hard to sometimes. Here we go. I hate feeling like I'm never enough. So I write words on paper, hoping the ink in my pen can cure me. After all, I'm just bittersweet poetry. I became everything I fear, so now I'm fearless. The poetry that reveals itself as a wet stain on my notebook is just a reminder that this is simply all the love I could never give myself and putting it to good use. Yet just when I thought I conquered my anxiety, like an angry deity, a spark of lightning crashes onto my life course, giving me every single color in the rainbow, but without the glow. See, this only happens when I challenge my synapses, like my neurons don't understand why they're always strung out. Like why I can revert back to addictions that I shadow as old habits. Like why I hold myself to a standard I stay choking at because the noose is my good place. I can always smile the biggest because the hurt inside of me is a gaping hole that has a gravitational pull on everything I try to hold on to. So I resort to thinking. If I can cut myself down at every instant with the sharpest razor blades, then maybe my highs can just be mids and gravity won't hurt as much because I too have a tendency to destroy whatever helps me get off the ground between every how are you today's and I'm fine, but I don't think I'll ever be okay. It's another mnemonic phrase I associate with between the length of my smile to the length of my broken heart. And I say broken because shattered sounds too winded. Shattered sounds like me taking fragments of my heart and using them against myself. Shattered sounds like shards of false loyalty piercing my skin again as a reminder that I only know how to befriend people that walk around like they are weapons of mass destruction. I gargle the tears that run down my face so frequently. Saltwater streams create crevices only they can navigate through until they reach my holy grail of a mouth that puddles all of the drenched and damp doubts. My desperation told my depression again. And as my liquid soul finally drains itself out of me, I let out a dry sigh of relief. I drop my burden like a rusted ball and chain, trying to anchor my body into another ocean, only for me to realize that being an island doesn't mean you have to drown first, or even ever. The dingy despair of my feelings smell like laundry I just never got around to. Or a wrung out towel that's been taken from a bathtub filled with waterlogged wounds and sat out in the sun for far too long. It's now become a stale, stained, mediocre savior, or a cluttered room I carved pathways out of that imitate the mazes in my mind. I'm amazed how my mind can still work so vigorously. My emotions. My emotions smell like wood chips from sharpening endless amounts of pencils that keep me writing with sweaty fists, and how the rubber constantly erasing the nuances of my existence can feel like I smeared my blood on every page to remind myself that everything beautiful has a consequence. Exhausted, but not extinguished. The subtleties that life breathes into me that barely escapes the battered and bruised. The untying of the noose. The drawer that keeps away all of the sharp things reminds me that I've died a million times. It is reminding myself that if someone, anyone, can love a dying thing this way, then maybe my anguish is the most beautiful tarnished, a wounded warrior, the phoenix that had to burn first to feel the most alive. Thank you.
Yes.
Wow, that was amazing.
All right,
Thank
all
you.
right.
Last line. Wow.
Yeah, Bianca, you're spectacular.
Body burns up the mic and then they freeze up. It's crazy.
That's how it go up in
Powerful,
here. No
powerful,
mic is
powerful.
safe. Okay, no mic is safe. You got one more for us, boo?
Just one more, yeah. So this was my last one for the night before Sister Rain J takes it over. So this one is called Lovesick. And it's you know, contesting and questioning that age-old question of, does love really conquer all? Love conquers all. Love conquers me. Love conquers us.
They really on us tonight.
Oh,
Yeah, Bianca is cutting you up, mama.
Yep.
no.
Keep talking. Let's see. Okay, try again. Try again.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Let's try again. Love conquers all. Love conquers me. Love conquers us. Does love really conquer all? Can it cover up crevices of darkness peeking through, trying to digest the light it wasn't meant for? Can love show me ways to get to where I'm supposed to go, besides through pain and healing first? The space my body takes up is a bridge, filling the gap between a rock and a hard place. Only concrete thoughts are welcomed here, because I'm tired of floating and then sinking and then gasping for air. Love is finicky, like a fish out of water, baited by promises and trapped by vows, pulsating in a bucket filled with hope, like it kept trying to catch itself. Love creates laughter and sadness. It's a wild card of wisdom. It gives us a deck of cards we never know how to deal. Love and lovers conquers any conversation. But we never know if it's showing us shadows painted on the illuminated walls, or if it's a bloodline baited with broken promises. Love can be as deep as the ocean, but seems to only thrive in shallow waters, enough to see from the surface, drowning growth and washing away impurities of the conquered, like how the conquistadors loved on my people. So now we carry crucifixes of their names on the backs of our native tongue that now speaks of blended love, tongue twisted with confusion, tornadoes of troubled truth. And although I know it's tradition to forget, the memory of pain is embedded into my spine, because my body carries the stories of my ancestors. So when it rains, it pours. And when it rains, my ancestors weep, weeping woefully as love conquers the corners of my mind, connoisseurs of the cerebral cortex that composes our consciousness, interlocking with hook, line, and sinker. I'm sinking, I'm floating, I'm gasping for air, but everyone stares like I've just reached the bottom of the fish tank. Love has put me in a spectator sport. Everyone stares like love can't be fluid, as if love can't run through us, only away from us. Love conquers water. The tide's offering the gifts we think we need until it drowns us in tsunami sorrows. So when we talk about it, we can laugh until breathing becomes a gift. Or how love conquers women through social media gratification, only to lure them into a world full of trauma and left with cadavers of regret at the hands of men who had no intention of giving their hearts away, so they took hers instead. See, the love we embody always takes somebody. This is the love I know. This is how I remember it. The way a fish is still a fish even after it's been gutted. And do you think the fish forgave you? See, love can conquer anything. It can conquer your heart like a cancer, eating away until you're nothing but a vessel of your mistakes, disguising themselves as something beautiful. That kintsugi type of love, like shattered but lacquered with gold to highlight how love could murder you into living. Love conquers your mind. Love tricks you into thinking that maybe, just maybe, you can sleep on a heavy heart, anchoring you to the ocean floor, swimming with the world's wonders, wondering if you'll ever be good enough. Does love really conquer all? Because I love thee with the love I seem to lose. Thank you, everybody. My name is Bianca, and thank you, Ray J.
All right, all right.
That was dope.
Ourselves and yes, my girl Bianca.
Fantastic.
Yes, we got the horn going. I know that was on Conta. Thank you so much for being here, Bianca. Thank you for turning up, right? I know whenever you sharing stage, I get nervous too. You can ask everybody who was here earlier. My daddy asked me if I was nervous. I was like, yeah, I'm nervous. I'm always nervous. Okay, I don't know if these people gonna still like me after all of this, you know what I'm saying? So I thank you for being
love
brave.
you,
Thank you,
AJ.
mama. That's my mama. She always love me. Right? Well, I thank you for being brave, Bianca, and awesome and unafraid to perform in your power, right? And I just ask, that you continue to hold that spirit, right? Especially when you don't think you could do it. Forget what everybody else say. It's always gonna be somebody that got something to say. My daddy always say people got they got opinions like buttholes. Everybody got one. Often it's just a bunch of shit coming out of there, right? So forget them.
Oh, you heard that?
Oh, I
Okay.
heard that one, Daddy. I put it a feather in my cap because it's so useful, right? I just want you to remember, Bianca, you the shit. All right. And this poem is for you. This is the poem that I wrote and I recite to myself when I need to remember that I'm the shit. All right. Universe of she. I was born out of melody, tapping feet when reciting to breadcrumb myself. Between dimensions, I return to me riding rhythms, Miles and Coltrane combined to explode me back into this timeline. I arrive, covered in my grandmother's rubies, abundance, finally finding me in a past life made present. There we are, rings of gold erecting, neck unbending in my intention, eyes black like the coal in my eighth mama's steely spirit. I resurrect royalty, remembering myself, translate my infinity into mathematical equations, lemniscate, the likes of which the great pyramids used to communicate with. Every 4,000 years, I learned to realign between clef notes, correspond with my past lives in tongue of the Pleiades, kiss my green-skinned husband, forgive him for letting me travel portals alone. I am what I have always been. Singular, enough, too tough to be timed, stretching galaxies in my brass arms. I hold the world up, inspect its worthiness of my return, find it lacking, cut off 7 locks to gift myself in future selves, tell them to plant me in every wonder, give us something to do on the next go round. I marvel at how many universes I got door knocker earrings on in, tuck my bejeweled crown underfitted in at least 10 dimensions, bop my way back to real rap, spit a hot 16 on my way back to Mars. Among the stars I remain in a Sankofa with my seeds. I rolled a saxophone sexy neck back to impregnate me in my own mind with symphonies of reasons never to settle. I open gold dusted lips, scream joy into the darkness that embodies everything. Honor this forever warrior's spirit, kicking up dust just to escape the catchers. Y'all open y'all mics once more and give my girl Bianca some
Yes.
love.
Escaping the catchers. That's
Thank you for that fire, Ray J.
Okay, thank
amazing.
you. Absolutely.
Escape them catchers.
That's it. We outside, right? We all the way in the universe. There is no lid to what you can do, can be, you powerful woman, you, right? Scoff in the face of the person who puts a limit on you, because how dare they, right? And in that same position of power, right? And speaking on what it is and what it ain't. Our next poet is inspiring because she does exactly that. Taking up space exactly as she is and always unapologetically. I have the pleasure of reviewing her first book of poems, In Lieu of Flowers. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Shaki G. And then she gonna take over and set us ablaze. And I'm gonna take you out with the rest of this work. Shaki G is a talented spoken word poet, known for her captivating performances and powerful words. As the 2022 and 2023 Grand Slam champion in Pittsburgh, PA, she has proven her skill by winning multiple slam competitions both online and in person. Her work has been featured in various publications, including Retta Green's Out Loud, LGBTQ Anthology, and American Graveyard, an anti-gun violence anthology, Nymeria Publishing's Descendants of Medusa anthology, and her own self-published chapbook, Shattered Emotions, Scattered Thoughts, also known as In Lieu of Flowers. Shaki G recently released a full collection of her work, I'm gonna say it again, In Lieu of Flowers, which promises to be a must-read for poetry lovers, and it is, because I done read it from cover to cover. You can catch her performing at open mics, workshops, and other events that allow her to connect with communities and share her passion for spoken word. For our last and final Tesoro Fire singer, who's about to burn it up, right? Hopefully it's some mic left. Hopefully we still got some wires to connect the internets. It's all right. You know what I mean? Please open your mics and hearts for my girl Shaki G.
Shaki!
Shaki,
Shaki! Fuck it up!
Go Shaki G.
Right, Shocky.
Shocky.
Woohoo!
To say like this Shocky and get it going, but she like wasting time. It's been heavy tonight. So I thought I'd tell you guys a funny story. So this morning, right, I got kidnapped by mimes, and they did unspeakable things to me. Get it? Okay, never mind. I'm not funny. Yeah, I'm not a comedian. Say stick to poetry, Shocky. All right, I will. I have 6 poems for you guys. First one is called Organ Donor. I am Black in America, which means I refuse to check the box for organ donation on my driver's license. I've heard how they will try less to keep you alive if it means they can find better use for your body. So I pretend it's a protest, like they won't take it anyway, like they ain't got markets in my shade, like they ain't filled bodies with newspaper before. Like that check mark makes a difference when I've been handing my heart over to women who would rather die than be with me forever. Forever? Forever, ever. Giving an arm and leg to corporations just to stay afloat. I can't stomach reality, so I give that away too. At any time Jack Daniels asks, I give him a little more of what's left of his liver. I've been donating organs to lost causes long before I had to check the box. It's funny how I believe I have a choice when the largest organ I own ain't never and not ever, never been free. Been put on auction blocks. Makes you think, if they offer you a penny for your thoughts, how much is your brain really worth? Okay. This next piece is called For the Muses That Died to Become a Slam Poem. You can only write so many poems about how a bullet hits a body, how a knee breaks a neck, how bones crack on concrete, how grief hits a home. Lately, my pen's been running out of ink, my wrist out of blood. I am tired of getting my writing prompts from a news cycle meant to keep us scared. My poem's been sounding like lynchings lately. Is this a poetry slam or a funeral? Reciting eulogies, poets turn pallbearer, carrying dead weight, a 21-gun salute in an empty graveyard. If a Black boy gets murdered and no one writes about it, do you remember his name? If a Black girl goes missing and doesn't reappear in a poem, do we ever find her? I swear I just wanted my poems to be a mirror and not a window. I didn't mean to make your pain a spectator sport. But I heard them scream, say your name, so I put you in a poem to keep you alive, convinced myself it was the same as saving you. Maybe my poems ain't nothing more than a hashtag, been crisscrossing a line between exploitation and expose, wrapped it around your throat. I am sorry for the way I bend your body, muse, martyr, metaphor, my poems been sounding like lynchings lately. I tell myself it's because I keep you all hanging on by a thread. But what's the difference? Bodies hanging from a mic stand, broken neck, full of bullets. Sometimes I leave some blood at its feet. It's just, I've been trying to make you see. Like Mamie Till screaming, look what they did to my boy, looking casket sharp. Sunday's worse, looking like a 10 at a poetry slam. Shit, I shouldn't have said that. But I should have cut you down, let you rest in pieces. Instead, I put the soapbox under your body to hold it up. And I'm starting to think that maybe the only difference between a lynching and a poem is who hung the body first.
Ooh, ooh.
Let's go.
Right, Daddy? Damn.
Oh, that line.
What?
Your endings are
Ouch.
always so.
What?
The way you rip up your poems is always so dangerous.
Hell
What?
yeah. Burn it up, Shock.
Yep.
Recently, I learned that teeth are the only part of our body that is unable to heal itself. And I hate that because my family is a set of teeth. We've been building dental records instead of family trees. It's funny. I think my mother was a wisdom tooth. She never quite fit in. The pain I felt when she took up space, I never noticed she was only trying to grow until God plucked her from the gums of my family smile, left only empty space, teeth shifting, trying to make up for the gaps. My family, bracing onto a memory to hold itself together at night. I feel us grinding against each other, swallowing blood that tastes a lot like pride, biting our tongues as if we would drool apologies if we open our mouths. Everything leaves a stain on our ivory relationship. I try to brush it off, but it seems if you ignore it, it will only get worse. Grief is a cavity we can't seem to get rid of, no cap. When I was smaller, I tied a rope around a doorknob, slammed it shut, and tried to remove myself. I was thinking maybe God was really the tooth fairy, making a home amongst all the lost teeth, calls it heaven, my family, a set of teeth unable to heal and slowly falling apart. It is crazy when your bloodline is attached to a diseased gum line. You can't do much but watch it go down the drain. I haven't spoken to my sister in years. And I'm afraid if teeth don't heal, then we will forever be two molars sitting on opposite sides of a mouth, afraid to say I love you. This family ain't never been a perfect set. We just been good at shining like veneers on the outside, while dull and rotting underneath. So we've been making dental records instead of family trees. That way there's something to identify us by after we're gone. But the problem is, we ain't been doing much healing while we still here.
Wow.
All right.
All right.
Dang.
Yeah. Shocky.
Oh.
Thank you all. Just two more, and then I'm gonna hand it over to the Queen Ray Jane to bless your ears a lottle, right? I bought her book on audiobook, and then it came out on Spotify, and so that's just been going through my, when I'm working or doing anything, just going through my ears. So I advise that y'all find a way to get some copy of that, as it is amazing. This one's called Treehouse of Horrors. Horrors. When I was a kid, my stepfather swore he would build me a treehouse. Well, he wasn't really my stepfather, just a man my mother loved. But the way he broke a promise felt a lot like chopping wood. So I believed him. Someday, there'd be a treehouse in the backyard. You see, first he said there wasn't enough wood, so I dragged home branches and pallets until the truth splintered my fingers. Second, he said he would teach me to do it myself. He handed me a coping saw, but not a coping skill, so I learned how to cut myself before I learned what to do with the pain. But I kept building, chanting I am the architect of my own dreams. And when I stepped onto the makings of a floor, I learned what it meant to fall. Growing up, I never had a treehouse in my backyard, just plywood reminders of how fragile dreams and promises can be. It's funny. Jesus' stepfather made him a carpenter, and I wonder if he ever had a treehouse in his backyard, or if he learned how it felt to nail his hands to wood long before he was supposed to. The men our mothers loved, leaving lessons in their sawdust smiles. And maybe we were the tattered tree houses they built, all broken homes and weak foundation, reminders of how fragile dreams and promises can be. All right, and this last one here, we're gonna get a little political. If you don't agree with me, I don't care. Today, I watched a video of a child telling his brother to pray, just in case they die. So they pray every time a bomb is dropped. And I wonder how many prayers have gone unanswered, better yet, unfinished. Wonder if the gods fight each other in the sky the same way we fight for them on Earth. Just pawns in a chess game with arm dealers trying to get the checkmate. They keep telling me to pick a side, but all I see is genocide, homicide, infanticide. So really, they want me to pick a side. Must have thought I ain't read a history book in between the lines, like I couldn't see the other side of colonize. Then they spit out land contracts when they speak, acknowledging whose land this used to be. It used to be oppression wasn't paid for by the oppressed. My tax dollars hitting the ground outside the hospital where babies lay at rest. Like we ain't all in God's image. This country been using my name in vain, making your freedom a hashtag. So when we say free Palestine, Zionists think it's going on sale. They hold back clean water the same way they do in Flint, Michigan, and then tell us we can't relate. Tell us Israel is the same thing as Jewish. Like they ain't forced them to migrate there in the first place. Like they couldn't find home amongst your hate, so you gave them a new birthplace. Pac revealed the blueprint. Give them guns, sit back, watch them kill each other. I'm telling you, the math is mathing, but it ain't adding up. You can notice the division if you get mad enough. The question is, are you mad enough?
Yes.
Fire, Shoki. That was
Yeah.
Thank
Be
you.
mad enough.
Woo!
That was amazing.
Shocking.
Very good.
Oh,
Love this. Love it.
come on.
You
Shocky. Thank you.
Yep.
And this is why I don't introduce you as just Shocky. Here she is. This, can you imagine this how she wanted me to introduce her? Here she go. Literally,
No.
verbatim. What?
No.
No, I said this Shocky. This Shocky.
Mm-mm. None of that. None of that.
Shaki, I told you some time ago that when you realize how dope you are, your life will change. I know that it takes some of us, sometimes, we need a little, extra push to believe it. But you need to understand the people who are actually telling you this and what we've gone through and how we managed to be to this point. I'm not going to tell you that because I don't have anything else. I have plenty of things to do every day. I have a 2-year-old running around in my life. I don't have time to waste sentences. When you realize how dope you are, your life will change.
Period.
And we love little Mina.
Thank you, Ja, for speaking truth into the atmosphere. Shocky. I hope that you could take this into your spirit. I know sometimes it's easier to make jokes about things. I cope the same way. But understand that you deserve the love that you are being given. You deserve the platform that you are being offered. You deserve the space that you show up in and that you take. And we are honored to know you. And I thank you so much for accepting my invitation to share space with me. I thank you so much for reviewing my book and putting your feelings on it. And I had to put it at the very top of all the quotes in the back because it meant so much to me. And when I think of you, I'm so glad that your last poem was about politics, because the poem that I have for you, Shocky G, is called Politicking. I don't know shit about politics. Oh, but if you ask me whose video was the illest and whose rhyme style is the realest, yeah, I could tell you that. Politics though, nah, I don't know shit about that. I don't care about Bushes in Iraq or the funds that we lack, but I can tell you there ain't no war on crack. No recently passed act to make a liberal or Republican give a damn about my international ties. Or should I say, my lack thereof. Because even though they stand and proclaim on anything.gov that the sky is my limit, they never hesitate to trim it. That is, my connection to a way to realize these dreams they claim are not deferred. Sometimes I catch a political address, listening for any word, indication to me that one day we'll have TV in the classroom, enough trumpets to make a band, neighborhoods that don't fume with toxic waste plants, genetically engineered ants who come bite Lil Ray Ray and Shay Shay and give them some type of cancer that ain't covered by Medicaid, yeah. Maybe then I won't hover around the fact that anything black still has a negative connotation. And the majority of soldiers stationed overseas have Jackson and Ruiz for last names. Maybe then I won't call it a shame when the Constitution can be used to tap my cell and my phone in the basement and federal agents are mad. Because them phones ain't been on since your daddy got laid off from Walmart. America ain't got no heart. The blood pumping through its veins been tainted for centuries by national and international enemies whose interests always find a way to creep over the citizen. Take a squat, lay something foul, and still be found innocent, yeah. I just love how nothing we own is owned by us. How the in God we trust ain't backed by gold, so the ink gets a little bit more faint every day. How public school is like boarding school, you know, just without the funding. Tiny bit of Fahrenheit 48ing the book list. How my grandpa is still working at the tender age of 73, holding on to me for dear life because his Social Security check is about $12, but his prescription is just over 50,000. Yes, son. I heard it through the grapevine that monopolies are just fine, that the people outside the U.S. need jobs more than we do. And you too can get the cure for AIDS and cancer if you got the dough, boo. And if you didn't know, the best way to get reelected is to take the niggas you rejected and try to sign their language on a public service message. They won't remember how you never heard one single sigh, covered up every single lie with a white girl cry, a kente tie that you can loosen when the sun choked too much, yup. Every day my wallet gets a little fucked. Bushonomics cost more than Reaganomics. We can't tell the difference between an Arab and a Sheik. Place them all under a Muslim terrorist heading. I'm too busy on the streets, stealing purses to pay for college tuition, selling dope to keep from sniffing, living dirty so I won't miss a sweet kiss from my babies because I'm off in the Navy dodging bullets not meant for me. What we haven't learned from slavery. A lesson to look around at your own shit. The poverty, the pain, 5-year-old girls aspiring to dance in videos, internet gangsters trying to steal my right to prose, trying to get a history lesson on every page that ain't ripped out, African-American studies program that hasn't been phased out, trying to find my mom and pop store that they closed down so some fucking corporation could keep us all down, watching the destruction of everything that I love with audacity. When you clearly see my eyes are filled with tears. How America has been systematically fucking me all these years. What's private bleeds and my womb falls free. Legislation finally aborting me. You ask me why I don't watch politics on TV. Why I haven't kept up. I look up, guys as glassy as monsoon, give you the finger so you know what to do and tell you simply. I've been too busy watching my soul die to vote. Watching my baby choke on industry smoke. Watching the jails fill with all my mans in them who sold you what you supplied. As the penitentiary becomes an industry and all my black babies get sucked in. When brown people barely make up 30% of the land and 90% of us end up with shackles about our wrists again. Yes, son, I know exactly why all the charges stick. Why the Senate and House of Reps are still filled with hicks. Why all the Fortune 500 companies are still run by dicks and right before the channel flicks. You try to tell me I don't know shit about politics. Thank you.
Think it's a game.
Ray Jane, listen, really quick. I'm going to keep my pen sharp because when you receive one of those amazing awards that you're going to receive, and you're looking for somebody to open up for you just to give them a sample of what's coming. I want to be on that list because you don't even understand the heights that you're going to. I'm so honored to know you. I am a fan.
Thank you, Ja.
Thunder long.
Yes, baby girl. Kill it. Kill it. Tell him. Tell him.
Yeah, Ray Jane.
Yep.
Could you
Wow.
possibly rewind?
My mom is wild. You see why I can't? I'm silly. It's because of her and my daddy. I don't have, I can't. I never had a chance, y'all. I never. I thank you. I just want to say thank you to all my ladies, my Tesoro women who agreed to share this stage with me to fire sing for y'all. And I just ask that, you go back in that chat, you find their information, you connect with them. Because it's about my book, but my book is nothing without the community that lifted me, that gave me space to speak and encourage to do so. So these women give me courage. So if you need courage, make sure you find them. And I thank you, all of you. It's my pleasure to give you something. And I want to read some more of the book with you. I know it's getting late. So for those of you who can stick it out with us, please do, because we're about to get into the meat, baby. Okay, I'm about to jump into this pot with you. So I hope that you can stay. If you can, please do. If you can't, we understand. We love you. Please jump over to Tesoro and please, donate to the cause so we can lift more women, more voices, give them space to get this love because they deserve it.
All
And
right, hold on, because you don't get to like introduce yourself. That's not how that
Oh,
works.
no. I got this bit.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. All
I'm
right.
gonna be quiet.
I
Y'all
got
ain't gotta
this.
yell at me. Y'all ain't gotta get nasty. I'm gonna be quiet.
So, to paraphrase, every time a poet sings, another angel folds its wings and slinks away because they can't compete with this kind of fire. I heard this woman on the mic, and my initial reaction was, well, I could just get out of the business because can't do that. And then I heard her on the mic again, and my reaction was, do I remember how to breathe? Wait, I have to think about this. Is this it? The third time I heard her on the mic, it was like, okay, so we just gonna spit fire and diamonds simultaneously. That's how it works. I get it now. This woman has written and is about to share with you one of the most incredible pieces of writing I have run across in 40 years of stomping stages and trying to torch mics. She is unquestionably reigning queen of the stratosphere wherever she decides, breathe or spit. Everybody on the grid, open your mics and please give it up for the woman of the hour, my Tesoro sister, and one of the hottest fire singers on the planet, Ray Jane.
Yeah, Ray Jane.
Baby Ray J.
Thunder
Ray Jane.
long.
Let's go.
Oh, here
Yeah,
she
yeah.
goes.
Be ready.
They ready.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you for this opportunity to share. Thank you for inviting me to Tesoro to fellowship with these other huge personalities. Daddy, turn your mic off. Crazy, my dad. Dad, your mic is on. Dad. All right. Thank you, Dad. Shout out to my family. All of you poets are an extension of what has made me, but my family made me. Right? They're the reason. If you find something that you love about me, then you already love my family, because they are the reason for me. And I'm not going to start this one without thanking God.
Amen.
Amen, Mama. Amen. Right? Because God is the reason why I exist. God is the reason why I have purpose, why I follow it here to you. And I thank God for you. And I'm going to start the read of my new first ever book of poems, Black Like That, Poems from a Conduit. All right, we're gonna get into a few pieces. And as they mentioned, I wrote this book. First of all, this book started as a totally different book. Okay, I wrote an entire different manuscript about love that's still sitting on the side, so y'all gonna see that soon. And this book was a chapter of that book, and it was called Black Love is Protest. And I realized there was more protest in it than there was love. So I had to take it out. And that was a painful process. So I encourage all of you who are writing your first books, who don't think that you can do it, if it doesn't feel right, trust your spirit, because it will slow you for a reason. My spirit slowed me because I was writing the wrong book, right? And I'm grateful to spirit for redirecting me. So if you don't take anything else from this, listen to your spirit, okay? It's speaking to you for a reason. And I consider myself a conduit. So if it can't get to you with your own voice, it's gonna get to you with mine. And here's a dedication. I dedicate this book of poems, this offering from an observant but still learning creature, to the melanated, to my Black family for shielding me and showing me what I need to survive and to thrive, to my Black family that raised me to crave the fire of Scotch bonnet peppers, the truth in who killed cornbread, and the knowledge that I am God's. May these words pay homage to how you persist in a world constructed to undervalue all things associated with the presence of color, free-thinking intellect, and our right to be all things, including Black and delicate. This book does not have chapters. It has mileposts. It is meant to be a journey. Each milepost tells you where you are and comes with a saying that my Black folks say, something that belongs to all of us and is meant to remind us. The first milepost is entitled, "The First Thing the Dead Might Say." And it asks, who your people? And the first poem reads, what music do your bones hold? And this is after a poet called Maida Del Valle. These bones vibrate, slapping a line of white ivories on card table, they shake. Lovers of boom and bass, bellowing forever like the shape of 808 light. The dope boys rolling slow down the block. Rhythms heating concrete provide music sheets. You can hear these bones coming. Rumbling hood symphonies, old heads become slowly bopping gray domes, offering quick glimpses of respect. Recognizing semicalents in my joints, twisting in and out of 4/4 tempos, the realness rising up out my drop top, over windows rolled down by hand, earning its breeze. It be functified, fried, dyed, and blow dried, but still rocking freshly crisp curlers in the melodies of hair salons spilling tea behind me. It's summertime, and it's summertime. And the music is easy. Immortal symphonies, aging gracefully in my marrow. Thank you. All right. Next poem. Unsung stanzas of the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, and yes, you will get some singing tonight. The truck is. These spangles start to look a lot like hanging questions in these same old colonies. We circle back to whack like nooses. Oops, it's a sleight of tongue. This freedom song, this freedom, this free, dumb, expensive. The stripes we paint on backs are art graphic, raised, undeniable, horrible, splendid. Penny for your dreams. Oh, 'tis a bill, spend it then. Send you a bill for your culture till you crow. Go ahead and sing, child. Ain't nothing left but music and your foes gleaning into this twilight, giving proof in hindsight of night that your black is still there. Where, oh, where can a nigga said there? When blue rockets red glare, when our freedoms stay bursting in air. All right.
Wow.
Go ahead, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Dad.
That's my hat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your half, Mama. So my mom and dad have this long-standing fight. When I do something good, each one of them says, "That's my half," right? And the first person to say it gets the credit. If you hear them yelling that out, that's what that's about. The next poem is for my mama, because I know this is one of her favorites. So please do mute yourselves. Okay. This is entitled The Drums. The drums recall my language, speak fluently to my people, pounding pathways for the dead to rise, a spell that always binds the drums. My people are reborn over stretch hides, our lives persistent percussion, our impacts require vibration, somehow remembering the way back. Knocking, my body unlocking at its joints, eyelids closed, sacrificing sight to properly ground. All feeling from here, arms lifting from here, shoulders catching old rhythms, rolling themselves into tides. Too late buoy, retrieving the lost, lifting brine beauty. The drummed beat shifts. Involuntarily, my body dips. My soul slips a bit out of this vessel, aware and also between. I know this urn is now a shared thing. I become an ancient record skipping. Hips join heartbeat, drums become electricity. Shoes are removed from feet. Connection requiring foundations return to earth. Communicating magics move. Movements mimic auras oscillating between indigo and violet. At times, rotations are violent. I surrender permission to whoever inside this needed to worship, be unbottled from this carbonated existence. All in perimeter witness, feel something recognizing free. The drums making me mirror, reflecting memories that are not mine. The drums reminding all within reach that your body still knows your language.
Drums and drums.
Yeah. Bang that drum, girl.
Your body still knows your language. Sheesh.
That's right. So if you forget, just be quiet. Cover your ears. You have a rhythm. It's inside you. It's required for your living. So for those of you who don't think you have rhythm, you're wrong. Milepost 2, grain memory. Always follow your first mind. Now this poem is for my family, right? We do a lot of games, when I was younger. Not so much now, everybody on their computers and, everybody on their little tablets. Not everybody's playing board games, but we used to play board games and card games back in the day, right? That was our pastime. And we didn't know, that in doing so, our families are teaching us meaningful lessons about how to survive the world. And so this poem is about that. And it's entitled The Game of Life, after a poem called We Should Make a Documentary About Spades by Terrence Hayes. And so for those of you who aren't aware, in the poetic tradition, if you utilize a line, a thought that belongs to someone else, you got to give people their props. So throughout the book, if you see a star and an after, that means that this poem, this artist inspired this piece, so much so that I need you to know that you should go to them to get the rest of that magic, right? Because this is only part of it, right? In Mama's house, we don't play no games, even when game is on the table. Every card drawn is battle. We become swordsmen at dinner, learning early why daddy made mama his bookkeeper. Grits were mixed with lessons. Daddy stored cards underfoot, so we walked with stealth, expecting to be cheated. Slaps of ivory tore through ears, so we learned how to celebrate, to take up space, to feel victory vibrate our bones. At penultimate, the kitchen table reminded us that going bubble was possible. So those small lessons teach us. All right, you ain't know. When you're playing spades, you're playing Unos, you learn how to win in life and also how to lose graciously, right? Some of us get better at that lesson than others, but hey, we're gonna pray for everybody, all right? And we're gonna move on to the next milepost, which is entitled Inquiry. So for those of you who have purchased the book, you will notice that at least two of our mileposts are entitled Inquiry. And scattered through the book, there are ads that were placed by freed slaves after slavery was over, looking for their loved ones. So those are the inquiries that you see. And I'd like to read you one. So these are real accounts. I didn't make this up. You can actually find this in the Southwestern Christian Advocate, March 18th, 1880. Lucy Clark says, "Dear editor, please allow me to make inquiry for my mother, Nancy Love. We were separated about the year 1850 in Mississippi. I was then but an infant of about 9 months. We belonged to Anderson Moss. He sold my mother to Mr. Ned Hender, a speculator in slaves. He sold her to Mrs. Hooker, a widow in Jackson, Mississippi. It was then that I heard from her last, about the year 1853. My mother wrote to Miss Love, Mass, as to her whereabouts. Any information relative to her will be very thankfully received. Address me at Maysfield, Milam County, Texas. Dealer. As a Black woman, I've been dealing since I made the deck, and I ain't stopped yet. Even with my cards out of my hands since my kings were stolen from our lands, skipping, missing lessons, trying to raise this full house on sinking sand. Sometimes wheeling to make the ends meet. I'll flush these jokers. I'll declare war. I'll call bullshit. Don't let me get a little rum or a little gin. Don't let me start playing to win. Start pulling my blades. If you book any of my spades, I'll draw for mine. Get perverse and reverse on an occupier. Black your eye, Jack, with my mind. I'll run up in your mind, bust you with these pinocchles. I, queen, bend my body like bridge, beg my people to walk swiftly over it, to return to ourselves. I've been strong. I've been capable. I've been running games since Egyptian rat screw, stretching cross affinity. My eights are crazy. This poker face saves me in mixed company. They think they jailing me, but I've been camping in your concentration, eyes wide, tracking constellations, harrieting all my nations with bleeding hands. I teach my babies this immortal technique, bait, then hide their hooks, then let them go fish. Teach them to seek their own version of rich. She raising you, gold-dipped alchemists, wielding so much magic. They make white bologna into a dish. They'll all bet on this. Place your wid and bid on her wish. She on everybody's wish list. Let them babies stand on my pride. Tell them every place they be is the wild, but in Texas, I hold them extra close. Hustle. 'Cause I gotta keep their necks free from rope. Keep it slack, then stack, flip and spread our tarot. But damn, this old maid is getting tired. Playing 'cause she know she can't fold, but fearing loss of mojo. Sometimes it's a no-go. Sometimes this back breaks up under the load. Sometimes I don't want to care. Sometimes I want to be solitaire. At times she feel nil. But even then she stay trill, even when ain't no water in a well, 'cause the whole world drinks. So much so that the whole world thinks. You can ask her, sister, to do more. Ask her to hold you up like she ain't been the floor. Prints on her back like the last. She cut that deck fast, hoping for the right suit. Praying it ain't too late to win back the loot. But she an old tree. She the first root. So she keeps it close to chest. Store her water, get her rest. Then show her hand when she manifests. Then sweep up these ends and make the best of whatever is less.
All right, all right, all right.
Right.
Yeah, you fired, Ray Jane. You so fire. Oh my gosh. I love listening to you.
Thank you, Jane. I appreciate y'all.
I'm taking notes because I'm gonna be writing all night now. Thank you so much.
Amen. I'm here for it. If you can be inspired by this, then you came and did exactly what I asked of you, which is just to be present. I appreciate y'all. We gonna move on to our next milepost. We got some other poems in here. Y'all can listen to the whole thing on the audiobook. 61 tracks, all narrated by me for you. So don't worry, you ain't got to miss a thing. All right. Milepost 4, who is the human? So in this portion, chapter, part of our journey, we asking the question, where they do that at, right? Because sometimes the level of atrocity that us in these bodies, right, have to endure makes you wonder, where they do that at? This first piece is entitled 13. 13. Colonize me, hung me from every tree. 13. Amendments amending me with moniker of beast. 13. Reasons to continue slavery, unreasonable to grab for free. Treat me like I'm only 3/5 complete. 13. Stripes on flag, naked ropes noosing, seams a ripping, winds of change whipping, white so red, but America been crippin'. 13. So mean, got elevators jumping from 12 to 15. Most salient curse I've seen while alive, but then there was always 45. Thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
America being creepy. Oh.
Been crippin', you already know, right?
Mm.
Woo! So,
Mm.
okay, that brings me to milepost 5. And so this part of our journey, we're looking at the human body. We're starting to react to the atrocities of the prior milestone. We're starting to see how a human body can come apart when oppressed. That's what this chapter is about. And it's entitled Chopped Up Niggers, which is jarring for many people. And it ought to be. But what perhaps is more jarring is that that is the name, the actual name of a puzzle game that was made in 1874 by the McLaughlin brothers, Chopped Up Niggers. So the first poem in this milestone is called Human Jigsaw. And if you look closely, for those of you who bought the book or hopefully intend to, the first letter of every word in this poem spells out the name of this chapter. Consider the absurdity in sectioning a Black body. Hacksaws taken to our humanity daily.
ogling public eyeing the lusciousness in our swing. Powerless spirits pull our physicality to pieces. Partition parents to penitentiaries, Planned Parenthood. Eager to keep cap on our blooms, cage our gardens, deforestation also happens in neighborhoods. Unrooted oaks, booked for loitering as if penal institutions didn't unearth them first. Nah, something smells like the pungence of planning, impossible to ignore, spirit hounding the scent, going after it. Familiar rabidness ravaging, going back to old days, old ways of capturing. Earthbound spirits laying traps, still rounding us up, hushing guts with delicious, semi-satisfying carcinogens, dulling our signaling plans, popping up all over. Conspiracies of unaliving we, now unredacted, public. Zion emerging from our unmuffled stories. Zeal of ancestry climbing out of silence. Lakes like Lanier so crowded now, killing on contact. Easier to feed, secret sleeping beast immediately submerged the truth beside black bodies. Too many pieces realigning, ornate flesh emerging from false narratives. Princes, made inmates, numbers, unnamed, stripped again, too familiar to be willingly digested again. Thrones begin to regurgitate bad minds. Obelisks, raves, name themselves Tikenu. Gross memory of reason for structure recovering. Each corner of black consciousness. Trying out our telepathy, tossing black hats at Montgomery like calls to reassemble to fight. Evil, unable to erase enough of us. Refusing to be blurred, we piece together.
Right. I got a lot of poems in here, y'all. Okay. So please do, if you haven't already, bought the book at itsreadyjane.com/shop. We got it for you in print. If you want a book with a little love note from me, then buy it through my website. If you don't care about all that, buy it on Amazon. You can buy it pretty much everywhere. It's distributed worldwide at this point. Print, ebook, audiobook. And we sold our only 4 vinyls, got sold out as well. So I appreciate y'all and all the support that you've been giving. Yes, come to New York and I will sign it for you if you already got a book that's not signed, right? A lot of times when we talk about my poetry and who I consider myself to be in the sharing of my words, often people comment on my voice and the change that happens when I open my mouth. And I've come to believe that that is because I'm being used when I open my mouth. I am most grounded when I open my mouth. And this poem is called Possession for that reason. Strange fruit swinging in my throat. It ain't my groan you hear. It ain't my rasp siphoning, bloodhound hollering in the trees behind me. No, it ain't mine. Not my snatched baby still living on my placenta. Not my wailing mouth pouring sorrow until deafening. I told you, it ain't mine. Can't claim deep scoff, erupting unapologetically from Proudmoore, laughing in horror as liberties lay in the hands of those taught how to bathe. No, it ain't mine. When love returns, finds itself in my mouth, gods unravel themselves, walk naked off my tongue, loud and undeniable, proximity aside, still ain't mine. Especially while toes make shallow tunnels into earth, life's current rooted into my spine, flowers becoming from spirit, magic high in the dew, early and wet, drops drum through sternum, what is conjured is not mine. I am borrowed, constructed by time, glass-blown vessel, seeing out of a shared experience when creation possesses this body. I am no longer mine. Good night. Bianca. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for sticking it out with us. I have a few more for you and then we're going to wrap it up. All right. But before we do, this book is about Blackness. It's about what being Black is to me. It is a reaction to all the ways that I've been forced to survive because of my Blackness. All the ways that I've been forced to define my Blackness, because it never gets to be one thing or all of it at once for everyone. It's often partitioned, made small, piecemeal, if you will. I think in an effort to diminish us, to take our power. And to that I say, I ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, walking up to freedom. For the Black body. Jaheim McMillan, armed with the Black body, dared to exist in the sunlight, extinguished well before he'd know the reach of his legacy, taken again. Another rewritten history where the innocent become the enemy again. Another Black forever, reduced to a body and we add another name to the tally of Black men, slain to distract us from the carnage of capitalist gain. Drag, chalk from bottom to the top of a Black life, reduce us to outlines. The other day I saw Anubis. Yesterday I saw Anubis. Today I saw Anubis write a new name, Keenan Anderson. Against my better judgment, I lost count of the executions I watched again. Mind absent, yet wondering how I can still subject myself to repetitive spiritual battery. Who will I be when the acrid acid of its assaults overloads my capacitor? Starting to behave like I'm Pavlov's. Trigger warnings got Bull Connor's dog salivating. Taste for persecution, solution to the Black problem. Ways the same as the trauma in a Black body's swing. A Black body's last song, how it's often a scream. I can't breathe. Ways the same grim melody as they trying to George Floyd me. Death notes attempt to lull us witnesses back to sleep. Other Black bodies. To consider ourselves privileged to still be living, to be on this side of the cell phone screen, as if we aren't able to feel his anxiety, his terror. Our faces cementing inside battle is raging, mistaken for inability to recall easier than many. How many times a day this skin recalculates the likelihood of my survival? How this skin demands that I clutch joy with both hands. Cause I'll never know when I'll lose another Black man. Again, I choose to lift the Black man. Again, cause all the world can be a noose to the Black man. Again, so for you, Black man, again, stolen Black man, I snatch back your name and return to you all of your breaths taken.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Powerful. Powerful.
Thank you. Right, we've been through a lot in this skin.
Thank you, Ray Jane. Thank you for sharing yourself so deeply with us.
It's my pleasure. I thank you for being open to what is being shared, right? Including me taking back some of that power, right? That power that they aim to strip us of,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this next poem from Milepost 7, Wanted, is probably the blackest poem I've ever written in my life. It's short, but it's sweet. Blacker. Listen, I'm only finna tell you again, I'm blacker than you thought. Real black like that side of the hand, blacker than you let me be, blacker than you want. Blacker than your chokeholds, blacker than your taunts. Blacker than black slave catchers, blacker than your toms. Blacker than you can imagine, real black like that side of the hand. On that side, black, I'm blacker than you thought. Listen, I'm only finna tell you again.
Hmm. Short but sweet. Well said. Well
That's
said.
it. Thank you, Pops. Right. And I got 3 more for you guys. And then we're gonna head out. It's important to reclaim who you are and what you are. Because if you don't, someone will define you for you. Right? Pops, I think your mic is still on. All right. Thank you. In this piece, Dad, mute yourself.
My bad.
It's all right. We appreciate you, Daddy-O. Thank you for being here. All of this blackness, well, not all of it, but a lot of it is because of my daddy. My daddy taught me how to be proud of this skin, even when they didn't want us to have a name. So this poem is entitled Name the First Displacement. This name is supposed to be home, supposed to be a place to return to, instructions on how to recall oneself. But this name sits atop this skin. This skin has been homeless since it crossed the sea. My name, somewhere lost in the Atlantic, drowned. No wonder I choke when trying to pronounce myself, why I stutter when attempting to expound on myself. A wonder that I know me at all when missing original definition. The depth of me thus immeasurable. But then I guess that was by design. Thank you. A lot of our suffering was designed. Even our disconnection from the earth was designed. Though we did earth work for quite some time here in this land, this milepost 10 is called Are They Not Pastorals? And it asks, you either in or out, because y'all letting out all my air. And for those of y'all who got grandmamas from down south, you already know what it is. You're going to be inside, you're going to be outside, because you ain't going to be letting out all my air conditioning. Okay. And this portion of the poem is about us Black people and our connection to this land, that it is indeed ours. Sharecroppers' grants. Sharecropper blood coursing unpaved roads, passing by fields of cotton and smelling despair. Cousins telling of summers dipped in old work. Sunrise meets sunset amidst freshly blooded calluses. Thirst strikes hot as Georgia heat. Red clay caked with Reconstruction promises. The singing removes the honey from their old flesh trumpets. The cost too high to make it make sense. My father invites me to let cotton draw new blood. Do what my ancestors died doing. I say no, but forget the same way they did. Moonshine tipping at sunset. Open spout,
passing itself to each speaking experience. Ugh, that's it right there. Burning, I smile it down, too ashamed to be weak in front of them, breaking easy like hot water cornbread, pretending I can hold mine. Shout out to my village. This is for you. Healing in fields of yarrow. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. I will reject all energies coming from my neck, including mine if it's coming while I'm twisted up inside. I forgot how to hide, once whipped so much I grew a hide, covered myself in yes, I'm fines though. The fee for growth never lied, confide my truth, stack it so high in my excuses I nullify. Return to ancient working of the dirt, pick the burdock roots to sweep the rotten fruit, long fallen from branching potential. On my misty copeland, I spin broom through cobweb talents long unseen, venturing deeper into the thick of me. My moss facing north, my riches somehow still green. Panting in my own breath, I stop by my rivers to drink. Lean against myself while dipping into my own well, astonished to find enough wet left to quench. This parchment finally moistened again, bits of me yet broken creek moving along in me. We recall the yarrow might stop the bleeding, picking a few more than I need, sprinkling in some fireweed, so much returning in the wounds allowed to breathe. Why we eat so much plantain, finally making so much sense to me. Got so lost in my recovery, startled, walked right into a fence. I forgot about this moat, this incessant layering of onion. I'm peeling my traumas from my skin, sometimes taking some skin with it, but thanking, oh great Orisha, for leaving the black intact, placing balm of Olodumare all over this back, pushing God deeply into these lashes. No wonder I fled. Who runs toward pain so steep it stands you pass straight into backbending, posture of openly wailing, nay, violently wailing, with the spoiled ire of this creature, with creator for sacrificing me to circumstance. Why the fare for better got to be so steep, stretching this spine, requiring realignment, so intent on the heavens the weight of my mind is allowed to unwind. Chin points us in the direction, completion. Body moving forward with 2 out of 3 eyes still focus on where I've been. Balancing the weight of forward thinking, all the while knowing the speed of destruction remains just a hair faster than the healing, nearly resembled at the edges of my version of me, these equations somehow resembling pairing out across my scabbing scapes, trauma valleys finally filling with their water. No longer hydrostatic, my whole biome returning to movement, healing, releasing joy to its natural state of acrobatics, grace, rising at dawn, singing life's supreme mathematics. Thank you. And we made it.
Woohoo! Way to go, big girl.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That was dope. Oh,
Great job.
Jane.
Thank you so much.
So y'all know that is really my half. I'm up now. Congratulations. And I enjoyed everyone. Every one of your friends are amazing and very well spoken. And I appreciate you because I did listen to everything and it was really hot. So thank you.
Yes.
And big did your again, RayJane.com. Go ahead and get your book right away. Bigger things are coming.
And I am one of your biggest fans.
Thank you.
And I am the biggest fan.
Says mom.
I'm still here. That was my half, y'all. Wonderful. Real proud. And thank you all for joining us. I am very grateful to this community that embraces my baby. Thank y'all. God bless.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you,
Ray
everybody.
Jane, before you go, you know, I try to stay in the cut as much as possible, but you know, some people deliver poems and some people are spoken word artists, but some people have a spiritual guidance with their work. And
Amen.
from day one that I've heard you, like there is a spiritual movement in your work. And it's not just in your voice, but it's webbed in between every syllable that you display. And you know, we're taught that when you sit in a drum circle, just being in the drum circle, there's a healing in that just being present. But what we're not taught is the healing we get from when the spirit is within the voice. And you're beating a magnificent drum, you're beating a magnificent rhythm. And I made the joke early, but I meant it. When the awards come, I want to be in the audience just to say, you know what, I remember having this conversation because it's on the way. You know, some people they earn what their work is, but those poems that you're writing are not even your work. That is spiritually guided, and it's a blessing to be here to experience it. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you all for taking the time, taking a jump with me. I tell people all the time, I don't expect nothing. You know, I'm a Black woman in America. I don't expect a damn thing. Right? So if you show up for me, you're already pouring into my spirit and my soul.
Good.
And I thank you for being here with me.
Dear heart, I have seen a whole lot of excellence in my life. This capped everything for all of my Tesoro women. Well, y'all don't even know how to spell extraordinary because you're so far past it. This is fire and flowers and diamonds and every dream of every woman on the planet being realized. Thank you for that. I am so pleased and so proud and very, very blessed to be able to work with all of you.
Thank you all for believing in this little Black girl who I've been in conversation with, who I'm letting say her words. I thank you for safe spaces, for letting me be myself. There's not a lot of places that a Black woman can be. Forget be yourself, just be. So I thank you for letting this Black woman expand into her greatness, take up space. I thank you to my family for supporting me, to the friends that have become family. I hope that you believe me when I tell you I love you. So I haven't really changed up my script since you met me, because that's the truth of my spirit. And I hope if you hear something otherwise, that you are empowered now to speak truth to what you know. I thank you. I wish I had more words to say besides thank you. And I could thank you until, till the tape run out. But I just want to express my deepest gratitude, because you didn't have to. And I keep saying that because it's a fact. You did not have to. And I thank you. And if you haven't already purchased your Black Like That copy, please come through to the website, let us know, and I will send you a love note as I do with every single book that I've sent out. It'll be my pleasure to do so for you. Thank you again for sticking it out with us. Thank you to my fire singer women who came through and burnt it up like I asked them to. I'm so grateful to you. And I want you to have the rest of your evening, whatever's left of it, because, the rest of us got to go to work. It's tired. You know what I'm saying? But I thank you. And I'll be quiet now. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Good night. Peace. Speak
Thunder
night to each
Lord.
other.
It was amazing. We love you.